I will instead share 3 points with you in the time I've been given. The first point is that what Mrs. Rajavi is requesting from the United Nations for the protection of Ashraf is something very concrete and very practical. The UNHCR has already taken a significant step, and now the Secretary General, the UNHCR and UNAMI should take another step forward and place Ashraf under permanent monitoring by stationing observers there. The written declaration of 25 November 2010 by the European Parliament, approved by absolute majority, reads, and I quote, calls on the High Representative of the Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy to urge the United Nations to provide urgent protection for Ashraf. Following the position adopted by UNHCR, we are working full force for the European Union to support and facilitate the stationing of observers. Mrs. Rajavi has declared that the Iranian community in the world and families of Ashraf residents are even prepared to pay the expenses for protecting UN observers. This demonstrates the unique capacities of this resistance. However, we must take into account that practical problems can always be overcome. The question is not so much practical as political. The question is to find the political will in the United Nations, in the European Union, in the United States, the political will to act. In particular, the European Union should exert political pressure on the government of Iraq to respect the United Nations High Commissioner of Refugees Declaration and suspend the deadline. My second point is that I am fully familiar with the psychological warfare and the demonizing campaign of the Iranian regime against Ashraf and the PMOI. The Iranian regime invests enormously so that in the European Parliament we stop supporting the Iranian resistance. In spite of their efforts, we recognized this psychological war and stood against it. I must say I feel extremely disappointed when I hear sometimes that bogus information receives attention in the United Nations and its related bodies. 5 delegations from the European Parliament have been to Ashraf, and they have investigated everything. My good friend and our pioneer, Paolo Casaca, who led several delegations, published a comprehensive report of several languages that offers answers to all questions. I suggest that the High Commissioner for Human Rights dispatches a delegation to Ashraf with enough time to spend there in order to carefully examine every aspect of life in the country, and then to publish a report based on first-hand research and not on the reports fabricated by the Iranian regime. And my third and final point is that the Iranian resistance in Ashraf have offered strong evidence of their commitment to political and moral values that we in the democratic world consider as essential to building an open society. When I read the political program that President Rajavi has proposed for her country for the future, I always say the same. Where can I sign because this is exactly what we believe in the European institutions. No difference. Unfortunately, the United States, the European Union, have been sometimes obstructing the path of the Iranian resistance and Ashraf. As a European, when I think of how we labeled the movement with the terrorist act against factual information and against legality, I feel deeply embarrassed. And when I see that in Iraq, the country we supposedly wanted to liberate, the United States leaves unarmed and defenseless Ashraf residents exposed to deadly attacks by powerful military forces, frankly, I do not understand such contradictions. We should not allow these grave violations of human rights to be repeated. The future of the region and of global peace and stability depend crucially on the transformation of Iran into a true democracy, where the rule of law, equality between men and women, the respect of human rights and religious freedom are the principles that inspire legislation and common behavior. We should work full steam ahead and rise to our responsibility to support the Iranian democratic resistance and protect Ashraf. It is the future of Iran, it is the future of the Middle East, but it is already our future which is at stake. Thank you very much.